Good afternoon, beloved, and welcome back to our peaceful channel, and welcome back to another video. From the title, you can see that today's video we will be talking about my April reflection. I'll be reflecting back on what happened in April, and today is Monday, May 5th. I know this reflection is a little late. It's a little late for me. I had planned to do this video last week, but unfortunately I had death in my family, so another video was more pressing to do in that moment. So this week, here we are now filming the reflection, and it couldn't have came at a better time, actually, because another thing that I want to share in this video is what you can start expecting from this channel moving forward. And if I had recorded this video last week, I'm not sure if I would have had all the information that I have today to be able to really honestly share with you what's starting to happen on this channel, if you don't know by now. But before we get into it, I'm gonna go ahead and reintroduce myself, because I do see that we have some new beloveds in our community, and I want to properly welcome you. Hello, and welcome. God bless you for tuning in. My name is Sheena Yvonne, obviously, and on this channel I share with you my journey of stepping into my identity as Sheena Yvonne. Sheena is my first name, Yvonne is my middle name. Towards the end of last year, God alerted me that he was changing my name from my identity, from being known as just Sheena to being known as Sheena Yvonne, the title of a peacemaker. In the world, we call them mediators. In the spirit realm, we call them peacemakers. What comes with that identity is the establishing, the building of a ministry. The ministry is called Practicing Peacemaking. I am currently in the midst of co-building this ministry with the Father, and you will also get that here on this channel, but in a different way than I have been documenting it before. This is all new to me. The sharing, the being vulnerable, the opening up is all new to me. Like I said, I just started this at the end of last year. And just like with a lot of instructions that God gives us, he tells us to do something, but doesn't exactly go into the details of how we are to go about doing those things. He just wanted me to start sharing, to open up, to create and build this ministry that he has laid upon my heart. With YouTube being the platform, but he did not exactly tell me how to go about sharing it. So I have tried a couple of different things on this channel, and we are now getting into what actually is working, what feels good to me, what I think is working, and what is not working. And so towards the end of the video, we'll go over that a little bit, but that is just a little brief synopsis about me and about this channel. We are establishing and building a community of peacemakers here. So if you are interested, if you would like, feel free to start getting to know each other in the comments and allowing me to get to know you a little bit. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get into April reflections. The biggest event that happened in April was Holy Week. For me at least, was Holy Week. And we're going to talk a lot about that, because that is, like I said, that was the major thing that happened in April for me. And Holy Week, if you need to refresh your memory, it was the week of the 13th. It was the 13th through the 20th. Well, the week ended on the 19th, but I took it, I blocked it off as the 13th through the 20th. And in that week, I think I had told you in a prior video that I was going to make a big deal of Holy Week, and I did. As you know, during that week, I uploaded a video every day. Throughout that week, I was sharing with you messages that God had gave me on that day. I decided to make a big deal of Holy Week because I felt like sometimes as we go through life, we just constantly celebrate things, but we forget why we celebrate things, right? A lot of people that I know celebrate Good Friday and celebrate Easter, but sometimes we have a tendency to make it a material celebration. So what I wanted to do was take the time out and allow us to remember why we celebrate Good Friday and why we celebrate Easter. That was the point of Holy Week. And in so doing that, I had promised God that I was going to be a true disciple during that whole week, which I didn't really do anything too crazy. I mean, it's mostly what I do every day. But I spent an unlimited amount of time during that week in the Word, getting whatever message that He wanted to show me, because I learned a lot during that week as well. And everything that I learned, I shared it with you all on this channel. Also during that week, my thing was I was expecting a miracle. I was expecting I was expecting miracles to happen during that week. I also fasted that week. That was part of my Holy Week dedication. I did the best that I could to fast. And I will explain what I'm saying when I say I did the best I could, because it wasn't because of something I did. But my intention was to do a liquid fast, to consume no food throughout the whole week, but just drink liquids. And the liquids that I drank is mainly coffee, water, and teas. That was what the fast was going to be for the entire week. I was on a roll, but day 3 something happened and I was not able to continue with the fast the way I intended. I had to modify it a little bit, and we're going to get into that here shortly. Miracles were had, and we're going to talk about those miracles. You know, I have my notes here, my planner here, because of course I had to write everything down for you so I did not forget. So there were 5 very specific miracles that took place during that entire week. The first miracle that I want to share is my life was spared. Here's what I mean. On April the 15th, which was Tuesday, tax day, if that sounds familiar to you. Tuesday, and remind you, I was day 3. At this time, I was day 3 in the fast, because I had started my fast on Sunday the 13th. I was bit by a dog. Me and my pup was doing our normal afternoon walk. I mentioned this before, that I try to take him outside for kind of long walks a couple of times a day for us to get some exercise, because I do just sit here at this desk pretty much all day, which causes him to be laying around and sitting around all day too. So we normally take around lunchtime, 12:30, 1 o'clock, we normally take a really long walk around around our neighborhood, up and down hills or whatever, to get some exercise. And we were on our way coming back from this long walk on this particular day, which was the 15th, and a neighbor's dog got loose and attacked me. Of course, the dog was actually going for my baby, for my bougie baby, but I stood in the way. I was not going to allow him, because this was a really big dog. It was a big dog. I wasn't going to allow him to bite my dog or to attack my dog, because he would have killed my Sebastian. So he attacked me. I think, if I don't forget, I will put some kind of photos here for you to see what it looks like. I'm healing. You can see some of the scars that I that I have, but I'm healing very nicely. We were on a hill when this was taking place, and I was holding my pup in my arms like this. I was holding him like this, and we were on this hill. And the dog was jumping, and he was, nipping at me and all that. When he got here, it hurt really bad. I mean, I couldn't take it anymore, and I couldn't stand, so I fell. And when I fell, I rolled down this hill with my pup in my arms. And when I rolled down the hill, when I landed, there was nothing protecting me. I was defenseless at this moment. The dog was over top of me. He could have, you get what I'm saying. But here I am. So I of course I had to go to the emergency room, and that because of the damage that I did, the wounds that I do have, of course I had to take an antibiotic to get any of the bad stuff out of me. And so because of the antibiotic, I had to eat at least a couple of times a day to take the antibiotic. So besides, except for the moments that I had to eat to take the medication, I was still able to proceed on with the fast throughout that week. And I was still able to upload a video. It was very, of course, when we walked outside that day, I had no idea the attack was going to take place, right? But of course God did. Because before I had walked out of the house to take the walk, I recorded the PPM, Practice and Peacemaking Ministry video. And I'm so grateful that I was able to do that, because I spent the remainder of the day in the emergency room and the pharmacy getting the prescriptions and all that. And then when I came home, of course, all I wanted to do was shower and get into bed, because it had been a day. And so the video still was able to go up at exactly 8 o'clock, or maybe 8:01 or something like that, but it was still able to go up on time, and that was such a blessing. So the first miracle, if there could be nothing could top this one, right? My life was spared. The second miracle that happened was I was able to help heal an old friend. It started on the 13th, the first day of the fast, the first day of the Holy Week dedication. We were children. We were in high school. This was my first relationship, my first love, my first boyfriend. But this wasn't a good relationship. We saw each other at church because through it all, we still attended the same church. However, that was the 13th was the first time I had seen him at the church since we were dating years ago in high school, right? And so through that encounter, we started talking during the following week. We started talking and airing out a lot of things. Because this was the first time we had been able to speak to each other as adults, to talk about what happened, and not that we needed to. I guess we did need to, because it was very, very, very helpful. I had spent a good portion of my life healing from that experience. And I learned through the discussions that he was still trying to heal from that experience. And through our conversations, even though I'm not sure, like I haven't talked to him in a couple of days, so I'm not sure exactly where he is in his journey. But the last time that we spoke, it seems like there was a lot of relief lifted from him. I guess to know that I had forgiven him. I had forgiven him, and I was no longer angry. I was no longer upset. I still had love for him. He would always have a special place in my heart, because he was He was my first everything, right? So there's a lot of love still there. And I was explaining, I explained that to him, and, he apologized, and, we had very good conversation, and I could tell, and he admitted that, it relieved him somewhat. So if he is not healed, it started taking him on a journey to heal. And I was very, very, very blessed and honored to be able to have been a part of that, because I don't want not one person out here, regardless of what you did to me. I don't want anybody out here in this world to have any bad feelings or shame or guilt or anything surrounding whatever it is that you done to me, because I don't. It may have bothered me in one season, but it doesn't last that long. God is good, God is faithful, and God heals, right? So I want you to heal. And that's what I was explaining to him, and glory be to God that it was helpful to him, or at least, he disclosed to me that it was helpful to him. So the third miracle that happened during Holy Week was I got a Hairston Law Facebook lead. In prior videos, I have shared that I was doing this 365-day challenge that I got from Patrice Washington from Redefining Wealth. And yes, I am still doing the challenge. As of yesterday, I'm on day 41. I'm on day 41 with the challenge. So on during the week, and this was the 18th, which was Friday, which was day 5. Day 6 of the day 6. So it was the 18th Friday, day 6 of Holy Week and of the fast. I received a Facebook Hairston Law lead. Now, this would be my first lead ever off of Facebook. Now, I've had a couple of inquiries before, a couple of people sending me messages, but not like this lead. And I will go ahead and admit that it did not, the lead did not become a client. What the lead contacted me about had nothing to do with anything that I had been posting about. Nothing at all. I had been mainly focused on one area of my law firm, as far as advertising is concerned, as far as promoting is concerned. But the person that had contacted me was actually looking for something else that I was not advertising, but of course the firm does. And that was a blessing. To me, it was a miracle, because like I said, it was the first lead that I received on that platform. And as of today, it has still been the only lead that I have received on that platform so far. I was not expecting that, but I was expecting miracles. The fourth miracle that I would like to share is I made the announcement for Hairston Law's second location. I finally made the announcement. If you watched any of the vlogs that I put up on this channel, you notice that on my little to-do list for every month, basically so far this year, it was on there that I needed to make the announcement. I had been procrastinating making that announcement for a while, because there were certain things that I wanted in place before I made the announcement. And beloved, I still don't have those certain things in place. But I made the announcement on the 19th without thinking about it. When I woke up that morning, I had no idea I was going to do that. I had no idea I was going to make the announcement until I sat down and thought about, okay, I need to post something for today. And the only thing that came to my mind was the announcement. I did not hem and haw about it. I didn't think twice. I just did it. And it's been getting good attention, right? It seems like there's a little bit of excitement about it, a little bit of interest about it, and that itself, and that is the miracle. Because I thought that I needed to have all these things in place before I could make the announcement, to get the people engaged, to get the people excited for it. No. I just needed to do it when I was told to do it. Being obedient pays tremendously. The last miracle, which is not the last miracle, but the last miracle for that week, during Holy Week, was the shaping of PPM, Practice and Peacemaking Ministries. Those messages that went up every single day of that week were my initiation, my introduction of the type of activities that the peacemaking community can expect from me, can expect from the ministry. Just a little sample of how I intend to show up for our community. Even after those videos went up, there has been so much that has been downloaded that I've been working on behind the scenes that I have not shared with you guys yet, of how things are going to be, how things are going to go. Which leads me into what I said I wanted to talk about towards the end of this video, was what to expect moving forward on this channel. There will be no more vlogs. I'm getting really specific because I was just obedient and I just started this channel and just started doing whatever I thought felt good at the time. Every day I'm getting more detail is being given to me, which is a lesson by itself. If you just move when he tells you to move, regardless if you have no idea how to move, right? Or what step to take, just start moving in some direction. He will begin to show you exactly what he wants you to do. He will begin to show you the exact steps, the exact pace, the exact path that he wants you on. It never fails. Because now that I have been doing this for a little bit of time, like I said, during that week and then throughout the remainder of April, he was beginning to show me a little bit more. And as I said, there'll be no more vlogs. The diary entries will remain. We're going to keep the diary entries. I enjoy the diary entries. I think the diary entries are what I was most nervous about. Because that's when you get all of my business, right? That's when you get everything that I have been, well, not every single thing, but the big stuff that I have been discussing with God about, the things that concerns me, my anxiety, my fears, all of that. You get those type of conversations in the diary entries, and those are for you, because those videos right there are physically showing, giving examples of how I am maturing internally, how I am resolving the internal conflict within myself and with others, because some of the stuff that I will share and we'll talk about, and I think we've talked about it previously, of conflicts that I've had with others. You're getting good examples of that. You're getting real-time work, real-time inner work in the diary entries. So that's why they will continue. You know that Practice and Peacemaking will be an app, right? It will be an app. And a lot of the things that I have been planning and creating are things that are activities that will be taking place inside of the app, right? The messages that went up for Holy Week, those similar messages will be in the app. Those would be daily things that will be one of the ways that I intend to show up for the community on a daily basis. We will have more of those on this channel because this channel will be a introduction to what will be taking place inside of the Practice and Peacemaking app. April owes me nothing. April has been one of the, well, I'm not going to say one of, but April was the best month in this year so far for me. And I believe it started with just my decision to do something outside of my comfort zone. Something that I had never done before. This year was the first year that I made a big deal about Holy Week. Last year, I did something similar on Facebook, but it wasn't to the extent. So I guess and I didn't even realize what I was doing last year. But I guess it warmed me up. Because this year it took a different form, and I'm so grateful for it. I can do it. There's no need to be afraid. There's no need for me to continue to doubt, right? There's no need to continue to keep saying, well, if this happens, then I know it's meant for me to do. God said it. That's what it is. The fact that the assignment was done showed me that I am ready, and I should stop stalling and continue to move forward. After I had summed up all of April, this was my response, and I'll leave you with this. I'm ready to be sent as a dove. Until next time, beloved, be guided by His light.